Hello everybody, my name is Bernard Viñals and this is the second time I'm recording this video. Why? Well, because yesterday I recorded this and then today I was going to edit it and the audio was all a mess. So here I am again, explaining everything once again. Basically, today we are going to make an interactable system, a pretty simple one. If your game will need like databases and other stuff, I suggest you to at least take a few notes, but make it more scalable. Because what we're going to do is an interactable system that pretty much is useful for single player games, linear games, and that type. So the first thing we are going to need is your default pawn, your player. You're going to need that. You're also going to need a game mode in order to spawn that player script that you just made, and we'll create an action mapping, basically a neo input, which in my case I'm going to bind it to the F button on my keyboard. You can bind it to whatever button you want, preferably a button that is not already being used by another action that you have. I'm going to call this action mapping interact. So the way that we are going to program this interactive system with the example of opening doors is going to be, we're going to make a parent object, a parent blueprint, which is going to be BP interactable, and then via childs we are going to make we're going to set up the special mesh that we want it to have, if we want animations on the object. And this parent is going to have two main things that are pretty important for our purposes today. One is an event dispatcher. This will be useful for basically our door that we are going to make. It's going to reference that interactable object, and what it's going to see is if this event has been triggered. If it is triggered, if it is called, then the this case the door is going to open. And another event which is going to be interacted, and this one is meant to be used for the child objects that we're going to make with this parent, and basically it's going to be useful in order to set up, as I said, animations or special things that we want to make that are object bound, let's say it, that are related to the things that that interactable object has. So let's get down to business. As I said, the process is basically this, and if you heard me and already know what to do, then you probably have something a little bit like this. You have a box, collision box, which in my case I called it trigger, and then on the event graph you have this input action that we just made of being of interacting, checking if it's pressed, and then validating if the player, which is why I said that we need a default pawn class made by ourselves, because we are going to filter everything that's inside our box, our collision. We're going to filter everything and just check if there is a player in there. And then with that, trying to get the first element, which will mean that it is our player. If you have multiplayer, you should check out if it is, if you want to be any player, which should be a for loop in this case for this, or if you want to be the local player, checking the whatever it is that you have on your default pawn, something to know that the player that you are checking out here that is overlapping, it is the local player, it is the client, it isn't someone else connected on the server. And then we basically do is null or is valid, and in case that is valid, which means that it exists, we're going to call interacted, the event interacted, which in this case is empty, and then we're going to call the event dispatcher that I said make, which is has been interacted. Then we're going to make a child of this, and I'm going to make a button. This is my button mesh, pretty simple. If you want to make it fancier, you can make it fancier. This is just an example. And in this case, in order to have feedback for knowing that I open or that this button worked, a case of interactor, which is this fun event that we just made, that's empty on the parent. Case that being interacted, start this timeline, and then move the timeline to whatever relative location that I just said. In this case, my timeline is moved from 37 to 0, which it will be an animation of going upwards, basically like pressing down. And for the button, we are done. Now let's make an object that interacts with the button, which is going to be this door. Call it door with button. You can call it whatever, you can make whatever. The functionality is the same. We're going to make a variable which is going to be called, in my case, trigger actor. It can be called whatever you want, but we are going to make this, and in this case, I'm going to explain why. We're going to make it an interactable object. The parent, basically, not the button. Why we want it to be with the parent? Because in case that then game designers want to make this door work with someone picking up an object, and that object is made via this interactable parent, well, you can make it, basically, you can reference it to whatever it is that is this type or child of this type. That's why we're going to select object reference of BIP interactable, and we'll make it instance editable. We're going to make it public so you can edit it on the details panel. And then we'll add the event that's related to the trigger actor, the event that we just made, which has been interacted, and then it's going to be basically the same. In this case, I'm making a timeline for the door to slide upwards, and that's basically it. Now, if we go and basically drop these two objects, child that we just made with the button, and then we drop the door, we can see here on the left that we have a trigger actor as default, and we can select every object that it is an interactable that's on the scene, on the level. And if we hit play and go forwards and press F, which is the interrupt button, we can see the door sliding upwards. And that's basically it. If you like this video, if you found it useful, please leave a like, comment down below, and share it with friends or whoever needs this help. This is a very basics how to do a simple interactable object. If you want me to expand on it, and what things you want me to expand for this simple system, you can tell me so in the comments below. You can tell me so on my Instagram at bernat.exe. My DMs are open, you can open me whatever. Same as for ArtStation, you can also reach me there. You can reach me wherever you want, basically. The links will be down in the description, and if I still don't have any links, it's because YouTube has this verified thing, and right now I can't post any links. So head over to the channel, and the links on my channel will be there in case that you need me to reach me personally. But if you have any questions, comment down below so everybody can also read the answer.